Hey everybody, I'm back. It's great to be back in front of the camera. I'm here all week. So let me go over some of the lessons from yesterday. It's faces, edges, and vertices. First we're doing the rectangular prism, like this. Okay, so let's figure out the number of faces. Now if I go to this website, it highlights every face. And if you're looking here as well, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 faces in this rectangular prism. If you want to go to this site here, you can go to the link which you can see, and this is the same number of faces as a cube here, as a standard die. So we're going to go ahead. Please make sure that this here is in your nose. 6 faces. Now we'll do number of edges. Now if I do this, it highlights all the edges there for me. But it's going to be the same as a cube. A cube is a rectangular prism. If I'm looking at this here, there's 4 edges on the top. It's kind of hard to hold it right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now there's 4 around the shape. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then finally there's going to be 4 on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's a total of 12 edges. And if you want to see it here, you can go to this website. So there's going to be a total of 12 edges. Now the vertices, that's the number of points. And there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on top. And on the bottom there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to move on to triangular prism. Now remember, a prism has rectangles in between the 2 bases. So when I go here to the triangular prism, do not get this confused with a pyramid, any sort of pyramid. The triangular prism has rectangles in between the 2 bases. And the 2 bases tell me that it's a triangular prism. Here, there's no rectangles in between anything. There's just one base, which is this square right here. But we're going to get to those in just a second. I'm going to go to triangular prism. Now if I go to number of faces for the triangular prism, I've got 1 here, and I've got 1 here, the 2 bases, the 2 triangular bases, and then 1, 2, and 3 of the rectangular bases. We can just count the number of faces here. And so that's 5. Now if we go to the number of edges, it's going to highlight it for us. It's so nice. Now one thing I said people do is just count the perimeter, the sides of the perimeter. That won't work because now if I fold it together, notice how these 2 lines in the perimeter, they suddenly become 1. So we got to fold it up. We got to look at the 3D shape. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. We've also got another 3, 1, 2, 3 here, and then in the lateral part, the stuff around it, 1, 2, and 3. There's a total of 9 edges and vertices, points. When I put it all together, I'll highlight the number of vertices. There's 1, 2, 3 here, and then turn it over. 4, 5, and 6. A total number of 6 vertices. Now when I go to the hexagonal prism, it is not here, but look closely here for a second. Let's do number of faces first. So there's a total of 1, 2, and because I know there's 6 sides in this hexagon, I know there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 rectangles in between the 2 bases. So that's going to be 2 bases and the 6 rectangles, that's 8 faces. Now, number of edges. We wrap all this up to make our prism. We have 6 edges around the outside here on this base, and then on this base we have another 6 edges. So that's 12. Now we just need to count the edges that go around it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to be another 6. So there's 3 sets of 6, which is going to be 18 Now, let's count the number of vertices when we wrap it all up. Well, there's 6 here on this base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when I turn it over, there's going to be another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is 12. Now, let's look at some of this pattern here. Let's see, the triangular prism. Triangular prism, it's got 2 equal bases and 3 vertices on each, and a total of 6 vertices. Rectangular prism, wow, that was a terrible mistake. I put 4, but there should be 8 vertices, because there's 4 on this side here, but then there's going to be 4 on the opposite side as well. And now the hexagonal prism, there's 6 here on this base, and then when we turn it over, there's another 6. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to our pyramids now. If you're using this website to look along, go to now pyramids. We're just going to do the triangular pyramid and then the rectangular pyramid. So, got the triangular pyramid here. Triangular pyramid. Faces, edges, and vertices. I'm just going to abbreviate. Now the number of faces, I can just look at the surface net. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also just look at this. So I got the base, 1, and then 2, 3, and 4. We got 4 faces. The number of edges, I'm going to wrap it up and then count the number of edges. So that's 1, 2, 3 around the outside, and then on the base there's 4, 5, and 6. A total of 6 edges. And vertices, there's the vertices from the base, which is 1, 2, and 3, and don't forget the apex here, the very top one, which is the 4th vertice. Let's just make sure. So we got the number of edges here. We can slowly move it around, and you've got a nice picture of the net here. Number of vertices, there's 4, and number of faces, there's 5. Now let's go to the rectangular pyramid. What is the big difference between the rectangular pyramid and the triangular pyramid? In the base. That's the only difference. So we've got one more side in here and one more vertex in here. Let's go ahead and do this now. We've got the rectangular pyramid. So the faces, we've got the one base, and then we've got 4, 2, 3, 4 faces around it. And if I open it up, it looks like the same. It's going to be 5 faces. Now the number of edges. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 edges around it, and then on the base 5, 6, 7, and 8. And finally, the number of vertices. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the base. And then don't forget this last vertex, the apex, which is going to be 5. 5 vertices. All right. That's it. Thank you very much, everybody.